For centuries, one name has echoed through history as the very definition of strength, discipline, and fearlessness: Sparta. A city of warriors, where boys were forged into soldiers from the moment they could walk, and honor was valued more than life itself. But what made the Spartans truly unstoppable? Was it their brutal training, their unbreakable unity, or something even deeper? Today, we uncover the secrets behind the ultimate warriors of the ancient world, and why their legend still inspires us today. In the ancient world, few societies were as feared and respected as the Spartans. Located in the Greek region of Laconia, Sparta was not like other city-states. While Athens focused on philosophy, democracy, and the arts, Sparta was dedicated to one thing: war. The Spartan way of life was built around the idea that every citizen should be ready to fight and die for their city. But what made them different from other warriors of their time? The answer lies in their upbringing, discipline, and military strategy. The journey to becoming a Spartan warrior started at an early age. When a Spartan boy was born, he was inspected by the elders. If he was weak or sickly, he was abandoned and left to die. Only the strongest were allowed to live. This might seem cruel, but to the Spartans, it was necessary to create an army of unbeatable warriors. At the age of 7, Spartan boys were taken from their families and placed in the Agoge, a brutal training program designed to turn them into soldiers. They lived in harsh conditions, with little food, no shoes, and only one piece of clothing to wear year-round. This was meant to toughen them up, teach them endurance, and prepare them for the hardships of war. They were trained in hand-to-hand combat, wrestling, and weapons fighting. They learned how to endure pain and hunger. Sometimes they were encouraged to steal food, but if they were caught, they were punished, not for stealing, but for getting caught. This taught them discipline, strategy, and survival skills. By the time they reached 20 years old, those who survived had become some of the toughest and most disciplined warriors in the world. A Spartan warrior lived by a strict code of honor and discipline. He never showed weakness, never surrendered, and never backed down in battle. Spartans were taught that death in combat was the highest honor, and retreat was the greatest shame. Their motto was simple: come back with your shield or on it. This meant they should either return victorious or die in battle. Spartan soldiers fought in a phalanx formation, a tight, impenetrable battle formation where warriors stood shoulder to shoulder, shields overlapping to create a nearly unbreakable wall. Each man relied on the warrior next to him. There was no room for cowardice. Every Spartan had to be strong, or the entire army would fall. Their weaponry was simple, yet brutally effective. Each Spartan carried a dory, a long spear designed to keep enemies at bay, and a xiphos, a short sword used when the fighting closed to hand-to-hand combat. However, their most prized possession was the aspis, a massive bronze shield that was both a tool of defense and a weapon in its own right. With it, Spartans could push back enemy lines, knock foes to the ground, or even crush them beneath its weight. To lose one's shield in battle was considered an unforgivable disgrace, as it meant abandoning the very defense of the city and one's comrades. The Spartan warrior was not just a soldier. He was a symbol of resilience, strength, and unwavering loyalty. His life was dedicated to the defense of Sparta, and his existence was a testament to the belief that true honor came not from living, but from fighting and dying for his homeland. One of the most legendary moments in Spartan history was the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BCE. King Leonidas led 300 Spartans and a few thousand Greek allies against the mighty Persian army, which numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Though they were outnumbered, the Spartans stood firm, holding off the Persians at the narrow mountain pass of Thermopylae. For 3 days, they fought with unmatched skill and determination. The Persian king, Xerxes, sent wave after wave of soldiers, but the Spartans held their ground. Even when they were betrayed and surrounded, they refused to surrender. Instead, they fought to the last man, proving that courage and discipline could stand against overwhelming odds. Though the Spartans were eventually defeated, their sacrifice inspired all of Greece to unite against the Persians. Their heroism became a symbol of what it meant to be a Spartan, unyielding, fearless, and willing to die for their homeland. Unlike in other Greek city-states, Spartan women played a crucial role in their society. While they did not fight in battles, they were raised to be just as strong, disciplined, and independent as men. They trained in physical fitness, wrestling, and combat techniques, believing that strong mothers would give birth to strong warriors. Spartan women were also highly respected for their role in maintaining Spartan values. They were known for their sharp wit and boldness. When a mother sent her son to war, she would remind him, "Come back with your shield, or on it." This showed the deep-rooted belief that honor was more important than life itself. Unlike in Athens, where women had little freedom, Spartan women could own land, manage estates, and even influence political decisions. They were the unseen force that kept Spartan society running while the men were away at war. For centuries, Sparta was a dominant military power in Greece. They defeated their greatest rivals, the Athenians, in the Peloponnesian War and controlled a vast empire. But despite their military strength, their society had a major flaw. It was too rigid. Sparta's population began to decline because they had strict rules on who could be a citizen and who could become a warrior. Unlike other Greek states that adapted over time, Sparta resisted change. While their enemies grew stronger through trade, alliances, and innovation, Sparta remained focused only on war. In 371 BCE, Sparta suffered a crushing defeat against Thebes at the Battle of Leuctra. This shattered their invincible reputation. Over time, their influence faded, and by the time Rome rose to power, Sparta was no longer a major force. Even though Sparta eventually declined, its legacy lived on. The Spartans became symbols of strength, discipline, and resilience. Their warrior ethos influenced military training across the world, from ancient Rome to modern-day special forces. Their legendary last stand at Thermopylae is still remembered today as an example of bravery against impossible odds. Spartan discipline, tactics, and warrior spirit have inspired countless books, movies, and stories. Even today, people admire their commitment to excellence and their belief that true strength comes from within. Sparta may no longer stand as a mighty empire, but its spirit endures. The discipline and the unwavering pursuit of excellence, these are the true legacies of the Spartan way. Strength is not just in the body, but in the mind. Honor is not just in victory, but in the courage to stand firm, no matter the odds. This is what it meant to be Spartan, and in many ways, it still does. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, history is always full of surprises.